Hello, everybody. Today I'll be reading a Donatello X Reader story, Chapter 2. If you want to read it yourself or read along with me, I'll leave the information in the description below. Credit to Kill or Be Killed Queen for creating this story, and San Boyet for the background video. I'll also be leaving them in the description below as well. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Surprisingly enough, the easiest one to convince of your legitimacy is Hamato Yoshi. As soon as you walk into the lair, all you have to say to Ratman is that his daughter was named Miwa. Obviously, dropping a bombshell like your daughter is alive is somewhat bad form. And that he was going to give her a fan/knife thing, and he was convinced. Maybe it's to do with his natural compassion and/or naivety, but it allows you the option to sleep on the couch and not have to wander around to find exactly where the hell that address was. You pull your knees to your chest as you stare blankly at the dead television screen, mind wandering as you listen to the accumulative sounds of the others. You are used to being awake at ungodly hours, of course, but typically they're spent alone, so this is an uncommon occurrence. Now, anyways, you wish you had a way of contacting people. You already feel homesickness writhe around in your stomach, and your dread for what's going to happen next is somehow outmatched by your gnawing curiosity regarding the fate of your family in the fire. Of course, you know their chances for survival was close to none, but Yin, you almost jump out of your skin, having not noticed the sinking of the couch next to you. You look over at the speaker, relaxing softly, and put a hand on your chest. Sorry, you breathe to Donatello as you try to calm your beating heart. I, kinda zoned out. It's alright. His posture is awfully stiff. I just figured, since we're going to be interacting more, we should, get to know each other a bit. You nod as you stretch your legs back out. Sounds like a plan. You turn your body to face him, shaking a little from the start of getting over it relatively quickly. Oh, by the way, you're the one who can kill me with your bare hands, so you, should probably just chill. Oh, by the way, you're the one that can kill me with your bare hands, so you can just relax. He rubs the back of his neck. Oh, is it that obvious? A little, he shrugged. But in your defense, he smiled playfully. If some random bitch walked up to me and started telling me every detail of my past, I'd be hesitant to get too friendly as well. Oh, it's not like that. He puts his hands up in defense, talking oddly quickly. It's just that you're the first human I've ever met, and really the only person I've ever really talked to that isn't one of my brothers or Splinter or... A memory punches you hard. Oh, right. You grab his hand, making sure his full attention was on you. I gotta tell you something really important. He goes red. Ooh, what? I don't think it's wise to tell you outright exactly what's going to happen. You start, impulsively running your thumb over one of his knuckles. But if you run into a Triceratops dude, or if you hear about a Triceratops man, you have to kill him immediately. Huh? Stunned silence. 3 or so episodes before the season 3 finale, you repeat. You or someone else is gonna run into a Triceratops man, and you have to kill him. If you let him live, the world as you know it will be destroyed and sucked into a black hole. Black hole? He blinks. So in a few months... What? Well, they call it a black hole anyways. You roll your eyes. It's pretty weak sauce for a black hole. I'd hasten to call it more of a portal than a hole, but I guess technically it is a black hole. You seem to know quite a bit about this sort of thing. He smiles awkwardly. For someone who just kind of popped out of the blue. Well, yeah, you smile back. People like you inspire me to learn more about how the world works around me. His pupils dilate, and he breaks eye contact. Wait, but you said that we had at least until season 5 finale, right? You feel his thumb wrap around yours slightly. If that's the case, how can a black hole destroy our world? We'd die with it, wouldn't we? See, you would think that. He shrugged, letting his hands fall between you two. But the show is already playing fast and loose with science in general, so I am legitimately so confused right now. You sigh, patting him on the shoulder. Me too, buddy. Honey, you stifle a giggle. No combination of words is gonna make any of this any more sense than it already is. I know, but listen, if you ask me any more questions, we'll start having to deal with more time travel bullshit than we already have to. He sighs. Okay, I'm dropping it. You nod, already feeling the sting of guilt. But hey, you nudge him with your shoulder, teasingly. If it makes you feel any better, you definitely got the most sugar than your brothers. He blinks. What does that have to do with anything? Comparison? I don't know. You pull your legs back under you. Just trying to make up for the fact that it's really not a good idea for me to give out too much information on an uncertain future. There's an awkward pause. So, Donatello asks gently, if you don't mind me asking, you said you died, right? You nod. So, how did you... House fire. He blinks. You remember? Yep. You chuckle tightly. Every excruciating detail. He tenses slightly. I'm sorry. You sigh. Dumpy, not your fault. My fault, actually. He rests his head on his hand. After another pause, speaks up. Do you know, then? Know what? You know what happens after. You shake your head. I blocked out and now I'm here. I'm guessing you don't run into a ton of people like me. He cracks a smile. I don't really run into a ton of people, period. You try to help lighten this stifling mood you've created. Well, I'm glad your first introduction to humanity proper is through some psycho Citadel Cassandra. Less Cassandra and more just general prophet. He grins. If Graf Less Cassandra and more just general prophet. He grins. If Raph believes you enough to go off the handle, well, I guess that's just Raph in general. You chuckle. Hey, you whine teasingly, lay off your brother. Obviously, he's a very level-headed man. Totally. He rolls his eyes good-naturedly. Cool as a cucumber, that guy. Speaking of, where is everyone? You look around the noticeably empty living room. Sleeping, probably. I tend to stay up later than they do. And why's that, Bill Nye? He shrugs. It's easier to work when people aren't asking for help with things. That is very fair. You close your eyes as you lean against the back of the couch. I must say I'm not envious of your position. You hear him shift closer. Why's that? If you don't already, you're probably, at least from what I've seen. You try to clarify. Well, it seems like sometimes you have the world on your shoulders. That can't be a good feeling. Another pause. I guess you could say that, yeah. You stretch upwards. But you continue, moaning softly as you feel your muscles crack. If it makes you feel any better, I have, or at least had, access to the internet. I'll gladly explain Google. He clears his throat. The internet search engine or the number? You grin. Either or, although I'd most certainly lose track if my... You grin. Either or, although I would most certainly lose track if my zero's halfway through at the best. He laughs. It took me so long to figure out how to say it. He sighs. The trick is to just say zero for a long time and eventually just kind of zone out. You can really. He laughs. It took me a long time to figure out how to say it. He sighs. The trick is to just say zero for a really long time and eventually kind of zone out. You can really just stop after 50 and people won't notice. See, you open your eyes, wrapping an arm around his shoulders. He definitely stiffened now. He definitely stiffened now. That's why I like you, Donnie. You always know the score. He relaxes. His speech is slurred a little. You like me? Oh, yeah, I do. Your voice is noticeably lighter than it was before, more relaxed. You're totally awesome, if you'll pardon my candor. Not at all, he smiled bashfully. I'm flattered, really. I'm surprised, is all. I didn't think you'd, like someone like me. What? Why? You are apparently extremely dense. You're the coolest guy ever. Well, I'm not really a guy. Wait, is this the whole turtle thing again? You roll your eyes, leaning into him as you close them. Dude, legitimately, I don't care. His voice softened. What? I don't care. You're smart, reliable, funny. I mean, isn't there to appreciate? I didn't expect him to feel so warm. If I'm being honest, you shrug in an attempt to stay casual. And if you promise not to give me shit, I won't, he promises almost eagerly, and you smile. I will admit that I had a itsy bitsy little thing for you, along with like a bunch of other people where I'm from. You know, fictional crush and all that. You're joking. He challenges. Scout's honor. You raise your right hand, already starting to zone out. Really warm. You're serious? You hum in confirmation. I don't. Ah. You yawn, the weight of the incredible stress admittedly starting to take its toll. I don't want to make you uncomfortable after what I just said, you mumble, curling into him, admittedly not in your right mind. But do you mind staying here until I fall asleep? You're surprisingly enough, you're ridiculously warm and comfortable and warm. He tenses up a little, but slowly wraps an arm around your shoulder. Yeah, I've got nothing better to do. His voice is gentle, soft. I owe you cupcakes. You nod off. You could tell you boosted his confidence, if only a little bit, as the next night he stood much taller, and admittedly you feel a sense of pride at his pride. At least it makes up for the verbal abuse of his brothers when they find you sleeping together. As you walk down the street that next night with Donnie shadowing you, you consider the pros and cons of revealing more about what you know, although there were certainly more items for pro than con. The chaos theory was sort of a big deal, and knowing the reputation of this franchise and its post-apocalyptic bullshit, the last thing you need is to tempt fate. Still, something about this felt wrong. Like not telling someone to get out of the way of a moving vehicle. Wish I were Cassandra, you think bitterly. At least then I wouldn't feel bad. You stop in front of the offending building. Finally. You look around for your chaperone, and after not seeing him, fucking ninjas, man. Sigh and give in. Good night, you say to the open air, and look back at the door, startled to see someone looking back at you. You're fucking with me right now. You have an awkwardly. You wave awkwardly as the man holds the door open for you. You step inside the building, making a beeline for the elevator. A doorman? Really? The lobby was entirely too hotelish for your liking, the warm lighting bouncing off the smooth tile cleanly. How much is this place anyway? It's fucking New York. You press one of the buttons. If I'm the one paying rent, then I'm royally fucked. Somehow, via some sort of divine intervention, you find the apartment. You take the key out of your pocket, note to self, scavenge up enough money for a keychain, and stepped inside. The apartment made you do a double take. It was so familiar. Nicer than usual, more polished, yet somehow exactly how you would have used the space. The floors are hardwood, the walls painted a relatively neutral color that's easy on the eyes. And as soon as you enter, you see the kitchen to your left. Small, but considering it's only you, it's perfect. And down the hall, right past it, it's a short hall. There's a bathroom. Bright white surfaces with black countertops, and in the only other room in the apartment, in front of you, is a bed, a couch, some chairs, and a table, chest of drawers, a closet, a television, and a little coffee table with a phone and an envelope beside it. You walk over to the large window overlooking the street, shutting it and sitting down on the couch. You pick up the letter first, carefully breaking its seal and pulling out a note and card. Your heart leaps as you see your name in white lettering. Having a credit card doesn't sound too bad. You place it back on the table as you start reading. Dear Yin Len, we understand that the transaction between your previous life and this one may be difficult, and we at the TIS are more than happy to provide for you and your needs during this transaction period. Your questions are likely numerous. This is the purpose of this document, to address any concerns you may have. Finances, personal belongings. The most noted concern of those just beginning in our program is to do with housing. We understand that it is incredibly important to the mental health of our members to have relatively stable housing, especially considering the strange, new environment they have been thrown into. Your residence is paid for by the TIS. All necessary emergency services, repair costs of any sort, medical bills, phone bills, etc., and any utilities that may be included in said residence are also covered by this plan. In addition, your TIS assignment debit card will be a daily balance of $300. Balance will change with inflation, which can be used at your discretion. Your residence has been pre-furnished to what our experts believe to be your taste, and your refrigerator and cupboards are filled with a variety of raw food items. Silverware, cookery, and cookware has also been included. You have also been provided with various detergents and whatever hygiene products you used before your transaction. These things will be replenished bi-weekly, unless, for whatever reason, you start using different food hygiene products. In this event, your inventory will be adjusted accordingly. You are currently in possession of 1 week's worth of clothing, including undergarments applicable. Forgive me, people. Which includes 7 pairs of pants and 7 shirts taken from your wardrobe, along with any clothing you are currently wearing. Cell phone. Your TIS assigned cell phone is, practically speaking, identical to your previous device. Any streaming services you were previously subscribed to, along with any you may decide to subscribe to, are covered by the TIS. Your login information is included with your banking personal information, all of which is included in this envelope. If you wish to upgrade your phone as the years go by, or if you wish to purchase a second device, these logins will still be available to you, although you will be required to purchase any additional software, electronics through our website www.tisshop.org/fu. A charging cord and block are located by your bed. We recommend purchasing a case for your device. Please note that all websites, services, apps, previously available to you are also available via TIS-approved electronic devices. Employment. Employment has not been taken by the TIS. We do not offer employment, although minors have been provided with a permit in the event that you choose to enter the workforce. If you choose to enter the workforce, aid will continue to be provided. Enrollment. All minors are required by the TIS to enroll at their local school. Any documents required are provided in this envelope. If you are currently attending a college, university, or are thinking of re-enrolling, any credits you have accumulated will be transferred to whatever college, university you choose to attend. If you are currently a minor considering attending college, your funds will be provided by the TIS if applicable. Identification. Any websites, services, products that are age restricted will be available to you regardless of age. Death. We at the TIS assure you that unnatural death in your current situation is not a matter that you need concern yourself with. While it is certainly possible to die, it is extremely unlikely, and we have the policy in place in the event of your death. We at the TIS are aware of your awareness of the place you are now in. We wish to stress the importance consuming any media associated with the world in which you find yourself. If you gain nothing from this letter, please remember that we at the TIS are here for you. Only indirectly, we wish you luck. The letter ends there, and you check the envelope to see another document listed. You stand up. The letter ends there, and you check the envelope to see the other documents listed. You stand up, picking up your new phone and laying down on the bed. You're left reeling from the little information you've been given. So I was brought here. You sigh, closing your eyes. I guess I already knew that, but you start scrolling through your device. Everything's still there, except for your contacts. You try to call what numbers you had memorized, and they're invalid. You curl into a fetal position, clutching your jacket. Well, you mumble to yourself almost bitterly. At least I know I won't starve to death. You decide against turning the lights off as you hug yourself tightly. This, you decide, is going to majorly suck. And you nod off, already dreaming of smoke. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe for another.